for the first batch of Rafales in India yesterday seems to have rattled Pakistan quite a bit, and it was apparent because less than 24 hours since the Rafales' arrival, Pakistan's Foreign Office today issued an appeal to the world community, saying that the world should dissuade India from its quote-unquote disproportionate arms build-up, which would lead to an arms race in South Asia. Reacting to the Rafales' arrival, in fact, the Pakistan Foreign Ministry also said that India continues to amass military capabilities beyond its genuine security requirement, and Pakistan is totally capable to reacting, to answering this kind of provocation.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 3 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, joining us on the debate, Tom Varadkar of the BJP continues with us. We are joined by defense expert Colonel Rohit Dev, journalist Omar Altaf, joining us live from Pakistan, along with defense analyst Qamar Cheema. Qamar Cheema, it's very interesting that you choose to call it an arms race, because a race implies that you are also running with us.
Well, I think India is trying to change the strategic stability in this country, which we have never, although, achieved that strategic stability. But time and again, it's a threat to the strategic stability in South Asia. And now you are entering into the arms race, one of the largest arms importer. And since last 10 years, you have invested almost $100 billion in arms procurement. So are you going on the path of Mahatma Gandhi? This is what I want to know. Then you need ventilators and you need to invest in healthcare in the times of COVID-19, when 1.6 million Indians are facing coronavirus. You are a part of the military industry.
Here's the thing, we can afford to do both. That's the thing about India. We can actually afford ventilators and Rafales at the same time.
I have a question. Are you part of the military industry complex? The way the French and everyone in the globe is thinking that we need to sell and purchase weapons? Are you following that fact?
No, I'm sorry, just a second. Since you're a defense analyst, I just want to be clear. If India is using its own money, not money it has got as dole from America and is meant to fight terrorism, but is instead diverted towards the ISI, if India is using its own taxpayers' money to buy weapons for itself, what exactly is your problem? Mr. Cheema.
Basic medical damage the strategic.
Okay, Mr. Cheema is upset, Colonel Rohit Dev, because he wants us to follow in the path of Gandhi.
I agree with him. We should follow the path of Gandhi, but the other cheek is not for offer anytime soon from Indian side. I'm very happy about the strategic orientation my country has taken now. With the Rafales, I think they are shivering already. You can find Qamar Cheema losing his voice. You can find Farooqi trying to read some script from somewhere. Having said that, China is the key. And Qamar Cheema should understand that the issue they should raise actually to the World Committee is that China is creating slaves out of their soldiers and misusing them to create and make CPEC roads and infrastructure. China is misusing its power to create guinea pigs and laboratory rats in Pakistan by creating biological and chemical warfare kind of a laboratory. Pakistan should worry that they are a country who under the FATF are unable to find a UN global terrorist who's designated. So what
Instead
are they talking
of worrying
about?
what's happening in India,
India is using its own money and prowess to rise in a new world order where neither they have space nor China will find space after a couple of years.
And Omar Altaf, you have enough troubles of your own rather than looking over the fence and trying to see what India is doing. Omar Altaf.
Only 3 weeks ago, the Chinese only required clubs and stones to kill Indian soldiers. So how would India deploy these Rafale?
आपका एक पावर कट हुआ था रावलपिंडी में, आपके लोग ट्वीट कर रहे थे इंडिया आ गया, आप किधर पे जा रहे हो?
Chinese only needed sticks.
I was a child when I was in Ambala when the Jaguars came.
We will deal with China and we will deal with Pakistan
every time
also
a Rafale takes off in Ambala, you will have blackout from Kamra to Karachi to depth of Quetta. So be worried about that. So I'm telling you very frankly, a time has come that you start feeding the mouths who are half fed in your country and also start feeding some intelligence into Imran Khan to understand what democracy means. You are getting confused.
You know, Omar Altaf, with due respect, Omar Altaf, I have been given a sheet which describes you as a journalist. Don't behave like a Twitter troll. This is not Twitter. Let's try and have an educated debate. This is not the way you behave. Chinese ne kya kiya tha? Kya hai ye? This is the kind of discourse you want to have as a journalist from Pakistan. You're not doing your country any favors, sir. And if we come down to that, then I'm also going to remind you that at least in a confrontation, if we lost 20 people, and very, very sadly that we had to lose 20 soldiers, we also ensured that they suffered a casualty, which is more than what we can say for what happened to Pakistan in its repeated misadventures with India. So let's not even go down that trollish road, because I don't want to indulge in that kind of discourse with you. We are not some, you know, some raste ka trolls having this sort of a childish back and forth. Look what China, at least speak of your own achievements, no? Don't try and gloat about what China is doing. This is how sad your state has become, that as a journalist, you have to gloat about what China is doing, because you have nothing to speak for. Tom Vadakkan.
Feel more confident.
I'm talking about Mahatma Gandhi.
Hello, Padmaja. It is like the devil quoting the scripture when this quote on Mahatma Gandhi comes from the Pakistani tongue. It is very strange if you look at it. They are not speaking for themselves. They are speaking for the Chinese. The spokesman for Pakistan is actually the spokesman for China. And the reality is these are puppets in the hands of the Chinese. They are using chemical warfare laboratories in Pakistan, and these people are not aware. These people are part of that gambit, and what are they doing to the Muslim community in China? That is a reality they will never address.
Speak about that.
Now the point here is they come here on television.
While he's so happy about what China is doing at its border with India, Qamar Cheema, you will never have. Your foreign affairs spokesperson should actually stand up and talk about re-education camps. But you will never do that. You will keep saying, oh, the global community should stop India. You should tell the global community to stop China first. If you really do dare. Qamar Cheema.
As far as the thought transformation centers in China are concerned, the world community is talking and we will talk to them. But I think here point is not. The point is that India is moving away from the ideas, from the ethos which its founding fathers had for India.
I love how you call concentration camps for Uyghur Muslims thought transformation camps, as if they are playing softball over there. You know, their organs are being harvested. And you sit here and say the global community is talking about the thought transformation. They are not sitting there and reading the Rig Veda.
Padmaja.
Even their body organs are being sold.
Padmaja.
Colonel Rohit Dev.
Why are you making India
Padmaja,
into
Mr. Qamar Cheema was on your show last year when we were talking about Balakot and beyond. And I told him that time to read a book called Quranic Concept of War, written by Brigadier Malik of Pakistan. If he reads that book, and then he will have no gumption to come on television and quote Mahatma Gandhi ji. Let me tell you, India is a peace-loving country. We have never invaded a land. We have never created chaos in your land. It is you who keeps harboring on Kashmir, 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 and your tape has gone bust, and you have no more to talk.
Yeah.
Having said that, let me tell you and warn you, your hocus pocus and you're trying to get cozy to China, to get Afghanistan in, to draw in Nepal will backfire, because those two countries have got intelligent heads to control their country, whereas you are consumed by
And you know,
terrorism.
Mr. Omar Altaf, at the end of the day, when you think that somebody is going to misuse the arms that they purchase, it all boils down to that old saying where they say chor ki dadi mein tinka, because you think that weapons can only be used to hurt somebody else, as opposed to India, who believes in protecting itself. That is what India needs weapons for, Qamar Cheema. Unlike Pakistan, India doesn't use its weapon capabilities to try and transgress on other people's lands.
Well, I think earlier you violated international law when your Air Force violated international law, and we can understand that in the future you won't you will do the same. Now the point is that is your country ready to face any adventure?
Beyond visual range for 300 kilometers. Don't have to come to your airspace. Don't worry about it. Just make sure that you practice the blackouts very effectively now. Don't worry about it.
Mr. Qamar Cheema, you know, I really have to say at the end of the day, you have a very low opinion about your own Air Force. If you think that you're confident India is going to violate what you say, international law, and your radars won't even be able to detect us. So you already know that the Balakot could happen, and your radars won't even know what hit them. So you already know how this is going to end up. It's very unfair, Mr. Cheema. You shouldn't be coming on Indian TV channels and saying such uncharitable things about your own Air Force and your own capabilities. Final question to you, Omar Altaf. You know, when you keep appealing to the international community, and you've done this multiple times, does it ever occur to you that nobody actually responds?
Correct.
Actually, Padmaja, the worry is that your Prime Minister is a bigot and he is a murderer. So this acquisition does create worries for the Indian, for the countries.
Mr. Altaf, you know, I totally understand. It's been about 8 hours since your Foreign Affairs Ministry put out that statement, and I've been tracking that not a single country has responded to those desperate appeals by you, where you said, look what India is doing. They are buying new Rafales. This is an arms race. You have to stop India. We are going to retaliate.
15 seconds.
And there has been a pin drop silence from this world community that you appeal to every 8 days. I think the message is very loud and clear if you want to hear it. And if your only response is going to be against some more trollish behavior and things like your Prime Minister is this, your Prime Minister is that, I think it's quite clear whose Prime Minister is what. You already have an FATF sanction against you, almost put in the blacklist. So I think it's quite clear who is who. We'll leave it at that. Anyhow, thank you very much, gentlemen, for having joined me from Pakistan. I wish you well. Good night.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.